Hello everyone, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amber Licious.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. And we are actually broadcasting this Thrift Store Adventures number 4 live.
Right?
We hit a lot of places over the weekend, and we're going to have this video, which is going to be just our thrift store stuff that we got from a combination of America's Thrift Store in Hickson and the Goodwill in Hickson, right? That was all. That was the only
those
places
only ones we went to.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about this. We'll show where we got everything, and to begin with, we're gonna talk about what the Goodwill.
Yeah, it's right here, and there's not many.
Okay.
Yeah. we went to Goodwill because first Saturday every month at every Goodwill location, everything is half off. So I like to go and look and see what we can get for cheap.
Awesome.
Yes.
So the first few items we got were from the Goodwill, 50% off, and we'll be giving like total prices and everything, kind of letting everybody know what we spent. And first off, here.
Okay. I found the Sopranos soundtrack. I was really excited, because to be honest, when I look at the CDs every time we go to the Goodwill, they usually don't have much.
Yeah, it's mostly a bunch of holiday and gospel stuff, really.
Yeah, or if they do have it, it's something I already have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool. But they had this. It has some really good music on it. It's got some Bob Dylan, Frank Sinatra, Van Morrison. It's great. I'm really excited about it. I only paid like 50 cents since it was half off.
It was originally 99 cents.
Yep. All their CDs are 99 cents. So 50 cents for that. I got Maroon 5. That's exciting. This is the one with maps and animals and sugar on it.
I'm not 100% familiar with that CD.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't know sugar?
I don't know. Maybe.
You probably do. You've probably heard it. It's one of my favorites, though. I love them regardless. And I only paid 50 cents for this, too. The next one is Oasis. What's the story, Morning Glory?
I'm really
so
more hyped up about that one.
Yeah, this was the one I was most excited about.
Yeah.
Like, I like the other two, and I'm excited about those, but this one, I was like, this is one I always wanted when it was out, and I never got it.
Huh.
And so, yeah.
Well, that'll take you back to the 90s in a hurry.
I know. That's exciting. Show them what you found.
So, while Amber was looking around at that and clothing, which I don't guess we're going to probably tackle the clothing.
No, that's fine. I'm sure they don't want to see my granny gown and my work pants.
I was looking around, and they originally had this for $2, but we ended up getting it for $1. Trivial Pursuit, totally 80s.
Yeah.
And that's actually pretty cool because, you know, I haven't even to this point looked to see if it was totally complete.
Oh, let me see this.
Okay, there are some dice in here.
Oh my gosh, it's a Care Bear.
Yeah, there are little items. There's an old, like, Apple computer.
Wow.
You know, old computer. There is a...
It's a Trapper Keeper.
There is a CD. That's the stickers starting to come off a little bit.
That's
I hate
okay,
that.
Little pieces and wedges. Yeah, that's...
But yeah, Trapper Keeper, a Care Bear. There's 4 of them, so I'm assuming that's all.
Yeah.
Just for example. Uh-oh.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's look at a question real quick. Just for laughs. What Hasbro doll with tail swishing action paved the way for the much smaller My Little Pony?
Ooh, I do not know that one. What is
It's called My Pretty Pony.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, that is. One more.
Okay.
I'm trying to see. What kid show promised in its opening theme a nuttier establishment you've never seen?
I have no clue.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Really? I don't know the theme song.
I
know everything else.
It's actually kind of fun.
That is funny.
But yeah. Pretty nice little box. Looks like it is complete. That's a plus. That is very much a plus. Trivial Pursuit Totally Eddies. Looks like that's probably
Okay.
something that we may utilize on a Saturday Night Crew broadcast.
That's
Logan, get out of my
definitely a
vegetable suit.
Alright, that and that.
Next up, this.
Yep.
I found this.
Goodwill.
This was a one of those Garfield suction cup Garfield dolls. Oh, his head turns.
Ah, you can make it to where he's looking back and stuff. That's nice.
I had no clue. But yeah, the suction cups are all good. He was 99 cents. We got him for $1 or for 50 cents. He's got a little heart button on here that says "Stuck on You."
No, he's precious.
Pretty cool.
I love him.
Were these that?
No, just the glass was the last thing at the Goodwill.
Yeah, the glass. I have been collecting these, and Amber seems to have a knack
I started it.
for finding these for me. And I absolutely love Norman Rockwell paintings, like from the Saturday Evening Post. We even have a calendar up in the kitchen right now, 2018 calendar. And this was like a really neat little piece. It's called Love Letters. It isn't inherently nerdy, but I absolutely love the old style painted art that Norman Rockwell
I feel
did.
like art is nerdy.
That's one of those my personal things that is really different from everything else I like.
Yeah.
I just have a thing for Norman Rockwell paintings.
Alright, that was everything we got at the Goodwill.
Yeah.
Next, all the things we got at America's Thrift Store. Which, not to say anything bad about Goodwill, but America's Thrift has better selection.
Yeah, a lot better, especially when it comes to movies and books.
Absolutely. Speaking of, I don't see your book.
I put it on the bookshelf.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Warriors book. It was from it was one of the later series. It wasn't the first series.
Yeah, it was one of the later ones.
But it was number 1 of that series, and I'm going to actually try to sit down and read it at some point. Warriors is the book about the wild cats that live out in the wilderness, which is one of my favorite series that I read right out of high school, or 2005, 2006, something like that, which was a little bit after high school. Next up, we got this at
America's Thrift, yeah. Everything else is America's Thrift.
and it took me a second to realize everybody we showed this to so far was like, what is that?
Yep, and you tell them to flip it. Look.
If you look, it says The Gambler
Yeah.
with like a mustache.
I'm like,
And so you open it up and it's playing cards. I don't know if you could tell
maybe.
by looking at that or not.
I don't know, because it's kind of light on that side.
But yeah, it's like weird shaped playing cards.
I picked those up for Joseph.
How much was that?
$1.
Originally?
Yeah, nothing was on sale at the...
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, we got them at America's Thrift.
They were $1.
So $1 for that deck of cards, and it's actually like new.
Yeah, they look brand new. Like, that's something Joseph was like. And I'm glad I did because, you know, we didn't mention it, but I did pick up Pimp My Ride for the PlayStation 2 at Goodwill, and it didn't work.
Yeah, we actually tried that live on the air last night during Saturday Night Crew, and it was inoperable. It would actually come on the title screen,
and
then it would go off, and it didn't.
It was very sad. All right, anyway.
So, next is holy crap.
Here, let's do this first, and then we'll
okay.
get to that.
Well, actually, this was 99 cents. I'll just go ahead and peel the sticker off to kind of give the full look. One of those movie theater cups, you know, whenever you go to a movie and they have, like, if you buy a large, you get the special cup. I've been having a really hard time finding those lately at the movie theater. Well, lo and behold, they had the one for Captain America's Civil War.
I know.
Just nearly like new.
Because we actually saw that in theaters and didn't get a cup. So.
Of course.
Now we got one.
Yeah, we have one now.
All right.
By all means. And then next was your Winnie the Pooh Welch's
yes. I was
jelly
so
jar.
Excited when I found that.
Pooh's Grand Adventure. And then next was your...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's a pretty nice little piece. Try to peel the sticker off that too while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so anyway, everybody that knows us knows that we have been really on a VHS tear lately.
We have.
And here's the thing, like, we went in with a little bit extra money over the weekend, and we walked in to America's Thrift Store, and the first place we always go is the VHS section. Well, they've moved the VHS section, most of them, to the back of the store now. And so we look down the aisle at the VHS section, and you could tell it looks like somebody has brought in a truckload of VHSs, like a legitimate truckload. I'm not saying we saw 30 or 40 new videos, and that's a lot. No, there
was at least.
They easily added 300.
Well, I mean, they had that many, but a lot of them had been there. But there was a bunch of new ones.
A ton of new ones.
Yeah, about half of them was new.
Pretty much every new one that we bought or that we saw that we liked, we got.
Oh yeah.
We came away I'll just say we got 30 VHS tapes for a grand total of $10. They're 3 for $1, and that's awesome because I mean it's neat to have. Yeah. And a lot of these, you'll never see them anywhere. A lot of these VHSs that we have, I've either never seen or I've only seen them at like movie rental places way back when. And then when movie rental places went out, they disappeared.
Yeah.
So a lot of these are very, I don't want to say rare.
So what it is like, probably how they ended up there is like, you never saw them after the video store. Well, when the video stores would go out of business, they just sell their copies. And so I'm sure people picked them up when they went out of business and kept them. And finally was like, I'm just going to donate them to the Goodwill.
Honest to God, that's probably why so many of these boxes are in good shape. Because they stayed on video shelf stores with plastic on them.
Yeah.
And
nobody ever messed with them. Sometimes we find stuff with the plastic still on them.
Oh yeah, all the time. Like not even opened up.
Yeah, some of them
just like excess stock of a wholesaler or something. Okay, well without further ado, we're going to go over each VHS, what the movie's about, whether they're one of our favorite movies or whatever. First off, we actually found a big chunk of Beatles movies. This is actually Help, as you could see. Amber found, 3?
Yes.
You found 3 right there together, and it was like, wow, look at this. I've never even seen these.
And there was one, like, unauthorized version, but I put it back because I was like, I'd rather have the legit stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen them on VHS, ever.
I mean, it's like, holy crap.
The only time I've ever been able to watch, like, Beatles is when, back in the day when VH1 had Rock and Roll Picture Show. And they'd show movies like that. This
is actually, like, I'll also grade the condition of the box and everything. Like, between the box and the VHS, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is easily like an 8.5 or a 9. Yeah. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but it's still slick. It's not really dented up or anything. Amazing. Next up, I was actually pretty excited about this one.
I love it.
Now, the box on this one is probably about a 7.5.
Yeah.
Because it has like a big old crease down the middle. But, Back to the Future, which, amazingly, is what Rick and Morty is based off of.
One of my favorite trilogies.
Well, this is the one, the original, where he goes back in time to see his parents. And ends up really screwing things up. But yeah, I personally like the one where he goes to the future more. Just because
they're all really good movies on their own. They really are.
Well, now that we've seen the year 2015, it's really not that big of a thing anymore.
I know. But I personally like the first one best, though.
I like the idea of him going back and screwing up his parents' relationship.
That's a good idea. And he always sleeps with his mom. That's good.
Next up, this is something that not a lot of people are going to get. But let me tell you the story behind this. This movie is Millennium. This is one of those movies that way back in the day, like late 80s, my mom had this recorded off of HBO. And I remembered the end of it, and that was it. I actually found this movie to view on like maybe HBO Go or something a few years ago. It was when we lived at the old apartment. And it has Chris Christopherson in it.
Okay.
And a plane crashed. And come to find out, it's like it was being taken out by like some time traveling bandits, basically, where they go and it kind of had a vibe to that Orville episode where they go back in time to where people are going to die and take their ship, and they never knew. It was something along those lines. And they go into the future where there's like robots and stuff, and all the changes to the past are destroying the future. You know, turning it into another timeline, and it's really neat.
That sounds neat. I've never heard of it. I don't have any recollection of it.
I will say, well worth the view. It's an old, like mid to late 80s sci-fi thriller.
And I like that kind of thing, so I'm open to it.
It was one of those movies that I didn't really know a lot about, and then I watched it just a couple of years ago. Ended up being a really good movie. Nate, this is a personal favorite. This movie is actually, and it probably is really close, if not in the bottom part of my top 10. Howard Stern's Private Parts. And I know people might be like, oh, you know, whatever, but Howard Stern has always been a personal hero of mine because of his radio work. And, you know, like not caring really what anybody thinks. And so I really jumped. This is probably one of my top 5 in this collection that we got.
I've never watched it, but I remember when it came out and how everybody was just going on about it because he was such a controversial person at the time.
Yeah.
And
well, it does good
because it's just funny because I remember them making such a big deal about it being named Private Parts. And now nobody would really say anything about that now. Honestly.
It's funny because he plays himself from the time he's in college to present. And it's funny because, you know, he's like walking around in college at the beginning of the movie, and he was like, look, you know, I know I'm way too old to be in college, but for this movie, I just need you to suspend belief. This is pretty cool.
Breaks that.
Next up.
Oh, that's great.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This case is a little dinged up, but I absolutely love this movie. If you see Terminator 2 Judgment Day, how do you not get it? It needs to be in every VHS collection.
It's classic. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that, yes, it's better on DVD, better on Blu-ray.
Yeah, but a lot of things are.
But this is Terminator on VHS.
I know, right?
Holy crap. Next up.
Lonnie's personal favorite.
Yeah, this is one of my personal favorites. This kept me, like I say, company on many a lonely high school night. Poison Ivy, The New Seduction. And if you're a male in your 30s, you know what this movie's about. That's all I'm going to say. It's actually still got the plastic on it.
I've only watched the first Poison Ivy. But
this movie, let's just say that Jamie Presley was like one of my heartthrob crushes from like 97-ish to probably out of high school.
I can respect that.
Next up, and this actually has a Hollywood Video sticker on it, previously viewed movie, The Forgotten. I've never seen it, but I saw that I don't know anything about it, but I saw that it starred Julianne Moore, and I'm a huge fan of hers from Boogie Nights, Don John, and The Big Lebowski. So I was like, you know what? It's a movie with Julianne Moore in it that I've never seen. We're going to get it and watch it at some point. Yeah. A haunting supernatural thriller is what it says.
Oh, cool. Awesome. I like that. I've never watched that one either. So
this might be the next movie later this week or something that we end up watching.
Okay.
Doing a review just to see what it's about. Pretty cool. Next up, The Sixth Sense.
Oh, yay.
This thing is actually still wrapped in plastic and has not been opened. It is new. It actually has the sticker, The Sixth Sense VHS new. Has never been opened.
That's great. I love The Sixth Sense. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
I personally have never seen it.
Lonnie's never watched it.
We will probably save this one till Halloween time. And this will be one of our many October features that we watch. But yeah, perfect condition. Never even been opened.
Yay.
33 cents, basically. I want to commend you on this one.
Yay.
This originally was a book. It actually says books on it.
Yeah.
But it's the movie, so it got put in the movie section.
Yeah.
Anyway, Grease.
Yes.
Now,
Grease.
this is. I don't like the way it's taped.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
Like, I've already opened it once, but.
I know, I have too.
I'm not a big fan of the way it's taped.
I know.
Like, we may end up getting some more tape to put on it. I'm almost afraid to pull it off. But the condition on this case is probably about an 8. Just because of the way it's built. I've never seen anything quite like it.
I mean, and that's really because, like, the tape did tear it, like, beforehand. Yeah. You can tell where it's like, somebody kept it that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, you open it up.
Yeah, this is a VHS, mind you.
And it's this.
You open it up. I'm assuming that's the soundtrack.
I'm assuming that's the soundtrack, too. Like, it doesn't say. Let's see. Yes, it is the soundtrack.
That is awesome.
Because it's got the songs listed here.
And what else does it come with?
It comes with this book right here. You probably can't see it, but if you open it up, it's a script.
I'll hold it up.
Yay!
I'm assuming this is the full script.
I don't know. I didn't look at the end.
Well, don't they like fly off into the...
Yeah. Well, it says the end right there, so...
The titles at the end identify the characters glimpsed at moments throughout the movie while a medley of 50 songs plays in the background. Is that correct?
Yep, that's it.
But yeah, actually...
The script!
Yeah,
so cool.
I mean, that is... Holy crap, it's like an actual printed script to the movie.
Some pictures inside there.
It's almost like the closest thing you could get to a DVD box set before DVDs.
Yep.
I'm actually
That's really
pretty
cool.
sold on that one. I don't even like the movie.
Love the movie. Love
But,
musicals. That's my
But I
favorite.
could really appreciate the stuff that went into this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, absolutely.
I
Next.
was like, "Can we Grease?" And he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And then we opened it up. It was cool.
This is probably a 9.5. This is excellent. It's The Beatles, A Hard Day's Night.
Yes.
The film. I've never seen any of the Beatles movies, but these do seem pretty cool. Anything with the Beatles.
I've watched that one. It's been a while, but I've watched it, so I can't really tell you. I've
Really good
slept a little
condition
bit
copy.
since then.
Next up, Merlin. I've never seen this movie, but we actually got Excalibur not long ago. That was one of those things we didn't cover in the Thrift Stores video. We just got a handful of VHSs and went with it. But yeah, Merlin, it actually has Sam Neill and Helena Bonham Carter in it, along with a few other people. And when was this made? 1998.
Oh, okay.
So it was like Sam Neill right after Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 5 years after Jurassic Park. But yeah.
Cool.
I mean, of course, it's what
I've
you
never
would
watched
think.
it either.
It's about the wizard, obviously.
Yeah.
Next up, another movie that I've never seen.
We've got
Goodfellas.
quite a bit of movies this time that we've never watched.
Yeah. I've never seen Goodfellas. Have you seen Goodfellas? Because I've had a lot of people, it's like, holy crap, man, I've seen Casino, and I always got
and it's
Casino and Goodfellas mixed up. Like, I've never seen, it's a Martin Scorsese film. It's got Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta.
Oh, I love Ray Liotta.
Named 1990's best film by the New York, Los Angeles, and National Society of Film Critics.
Cool.
Earned an Academy Award nomination, 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture and Director. They don't even say what it's about. It's just a mob movie. Condition on the box, probably about a 8.5.
Yeah.
Some wear and tear. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Don't hate us. That Jim.
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, which...
Why does people give that a bunch of hate?
I enjoyed it when it came out.
I love it.
This is another one of those, like the
I
Phantom
went to
Menace.
theaters and saw that when I was a kid.
This is like the Phantom Menace, where I loved the movie when it came out. Yeah, there was some stuff about it I didn't like. I didn't like how they did Bane. But I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger did a really...
He was an amazing Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, he did an amazing Mr. Freeze. I thought Alicia Silverstone did good as Batgirl. Uma Thurman did excellent as Poison Ivy.
Yes.
And I mean, Chris O'Donnell.
Hey.
I'm sorry, but you have to really screw up to mess up Robin. And he did a good job.
Yeah, I like Chris O'Donnell. I don't see anything wrong with him.
Now, George Clooney was one of those people.
He's not the best Batman.
Here, George Clooney did a good. He's like George Clooney.
He did a good Bruce Wayne,
but not a good Batman.
You're
just
exactly
like Ben
right.
Affleck. Ben Affleck, in my opinion, was an excellent Bruce Wayne.
I've not watched that, so
you need to check it out. But I like Batman and Robin. It's not my favorite.
No, it's not my favorite by any means.
But it's right up there with Batman Forever, and I liked it too.
I like Batman Forever.
And this is actually the first time I've ever owned this movie, so cool. Next up, one of my top 10, solidly top 10 movies. I'm so happy to finally own it. It's been on Netflix. No, it ain't.
Well, we watched it on
We had to get stars for a little bit.
Yeah, stars for a week.
Jim Carrey and Man on the Moon, and I am so very happy to own this movie now. Holy crap. This is one of my top 10 favorite movies. Based on the life of Andy Kaufman. Excellent box. Box is probably about an 8.5. Good quality stuff. Like, I would almost be, unless it's a movie that I just really wanted, if the box was torn all to hell, I probably wouldn't get it.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Next up, this is a personal childhood favorite of mine. The box is probably a 7. It is a kind of a nature type film. Oh, okay, I was going to say it does. Where was this? I guess that's just a...
It's got an old barcode covered up on it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. But the movie is called The Bear, and if you've never seen it, check it out. It's a late 80s, like early 90s, like really nature-based film. Very little dialogue about like up in the Canadian mountains. There's some hunters, and this like young cub gets orphaned when his mother is crushed by a rock slide, and so he ends up kind of getting with this older grizzly, and it's like them versus these hunters. It's a really good movie. Like, I would suggest watching it. And it was one of those movies...
The Bear is an okay movie, in my opinion. It's not horrible.
You've seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, holy crap, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those movies that I saw 1,000 times as a kid. Mm-hmm. And probably the last time I saw it, I was like 7. And then I didn't see it again or even hear about it until I was like in my late 20s. And then I just recently found it. Mm-hmm. I actually have a copy of it on Blu-ray.
Was it Blu-ray? I thought it was
No,
DVD.
it is DVD.
Oh.
But yeah, I have a copy of it on DVD. But I was like, you know what? I got to have it on VHS.
Yeah, I know. I remember this conversation. It's like, do you really need that on VHS? Yes. Okay, that's fine.
Next up, Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams. Now, I just took it out of the box, and now it's...
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah. Field of Dreams got a $3 price tag on it. Box is probably about a 7.5 or an 8. Really good movie. It's got
If you build it.
Kevin Costner in it. James Earl Jones. Really good movie.
Yeah,
it's like one of those baseball movies that... It's just like if you're sitting around with nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon, it's a really cool movie to kill a couple hours.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorites by any means, but one of those
Decent.
that I can always watch. What is this? The Complete Beatles?
I don't know. I've never watched that one.
It's everything the Beatles did best. The songs. Rock and roll music. All my lovin'.
It was cool looking, so I got it. What?
Not rated. What's the running time? 1 hour and 59 minutes?
Golly.
I wonder if it has all those movies or all those songs on it. Maybe it's like live performances.
That'd be cool.
It's going to be something we're just going to have to look at tonight. I'm curious now.
Okay.
Set that off to the side. We're going to check that out. Next up, and I'm going to feature these both together. Both really good condition copies. Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, and Jurassic Park 3. I know a lot of people didn't like either one of those and were more thrilled with Jurassic
World. I enjoyed The Lost World.
But
I've never watched the third one.
I've never seen all of The Lost World.
Really?
But I've seen Jurassic Park 3 like 4 times because Sam Neill came back for it. Now, I know this one focused heavily around Malcolm.
Yeah.
And I've only seen the very beginning.
That's an interesting box.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention when you picked it up. It's neat, though. It's kind of got like a 2D thing going on there.
Kinda, sorta.
I mean, you see what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just layered. Really neat little deal. I saw the beginning of this movie, and then I saw the part where the T-Rex was drinking out of the swimming pool. That's the only stuff I remember about this. Jurassic Park 3 is where they... This actually has William H. Macy in it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
William H. Macy and his wife basically parade as a wealthy couple, and they lure Sam Neill, Dr. Grant, to go back to the island because they're like, oh, we just need you to, show us, we're going to fly over the island and we need you to just give us a tour and let us see the dinosaurs and stuff like that. And he was like, okay. So they finally get him on the plane. Well, then they order the pilot to touch down. And he was like, no. And they end up knocking him out. And when he wakes up, they've landed, and come to find out, the couple's son, they weren't really rich. They didn't have any money. They had just hired a plane to fly over the island. And their son had been parasailing off the island with his, uncle or somebody. And they ended up getting trapped on the island.
So it was a
and they wanted
rescue mission. But...
they wanted somebody who knew the island to come with him. And, of course, everything goes all to hell.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
This actually features, they go into, at one point, the pterodactyl aviary where they keep the pterodactyls, and they get into they basically are hunted by pterodactyls.
Wow. That's great.
That, of course, the velociraptors play a big role. Next up, we both really enjoy this movie.
Yes.
A good, fun, top 20 comedy, My Fellow Americans, which is, Jack Lemmon and James Garner.
Yes.
Dan Aykroyd's in it.
It's hilarious. It's a funny movie.
Pretty neat thing about 2 former presidents who were basically on the run because the current president's trying to have them killed.
Yeah.
It's a very, very funny movie. Another movie that people just want to pull my nerd card because I've never seen.
Oh, Lord.
And I'll also say that I love these painted... They don't do these...
No, they don't do that
movie
anymore.
posters like this anymore. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I've never seen this movie. Is this the first one?
No.
There was a Mad Max, and then there was a Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome?
I don't remember what the first one's called. I do not remember what's
Mel Gibson returns in Mad Max
Yeah.
Beyond Thunderdome as Max. In previous Max sagas, Mad Max and the Road Warrior. Okay, so I've never seen any of the Mad Max movies. I've actually heard a lot of people tell me that if you just watch Beyond Thunderdome, you could skip all the other ones.
I mean, that's pretty true.
Except for the new one.
Yeah.
And I've heard the new one is amazing too. But
yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, not to say the other ones are bad, but you could probably skip those and just watch that.
Next up, the film Imagine by John Lennon.
I forgot we got that one. Yeah.
A classic film biography. Now, does this actually have John Lennon, or is this a movie?
I don't know. We kind of saw Imagine and John Lennon and just kind of threw it in there.
Imagine John Lennon comes from a treasure trove of source material, Lennon's personal collection of more than 240 hours of film and videotape.
Oh, wow.
Much of it never seen in public. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm pretty sure... Oh, and it was actually supervised by Yoko.
Okay, well, that's neat.
So that might be something to sit and watch. I'm not 100% on that. But anything with John Lennon would be pretty cool.
Oh, yes.
Next up, and I'm not a huge Western fan, and I've seen a good chunk of this movie, but if you're going to have a VHS collection, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly absolutely has to be part of that. Pretty good. The box is almost flawless.
The box looks really good.
Yeah, the box looks like it's not even been touched, but of course it's one of those like Western legends. It's not an original by any means.
Yeah, it's definitely a reproduction.
Next up, Space Jam.
Yay!
Did you pick this out or did I?
I picked it out.
The box is probably about a 7. You know, as all these Disney boxes
plastic ones are hard.
The plastic
to
ones, they're always just beat all to crap.
As a kid, you just throw your plastic case around.
I've never seen Space Jam.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking you've never watched Space Jam.
Yeah.
God, Space Jam's awesome.
I've seen part of it. I've seen the beginning where Michael Jordan's playing baseball.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And they're all kissing his butt, you know. Yeah. They're like, oh, yeah, you know, I've seen a lot of guys strike out, but I've never seen somebody do it like that. That was an excellent strikeout.
Bless it. It was probably really like that, too, when he tried to play baseball.
Well, you know, he came to, you remember we saw that news article at the America's Thrift Store.
Oh, yes.
Where they were making a big deal out of him and his team and came to Chattanooga to play the Lookouts.
I do remember that.
And it was like the biggest crowd in Lookouts history.
Uh-huh.
Next up, this was your pick. I can't say I was overly on board with this
I know you weren't, but
I don't even know what
like
it is. I've heard of it. The Swiss Family Robinson.
Yay!
It's probably about an 8 on the box. But
I'm telling you, it's a good classic Disney movie.
It's live action.
Yeah, it's live action.
Okay, so family crash lands on a desert island and makes a home.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It actually
cool
sounds pretty cool. I mean, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Didn't they have a TV show based on them?
I think so.
Maybe.
Not 100% on that, but I think so.
Next up, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Woo-hoo.
This is the only Indiana Jones movie we own. The box is probably about an 8. This is personally my favorite Indiana Jones movie. Mm-hmm. And the only part I really remember much about is the ending where they finally make it to the Holy Grail and you know the dude like drinks the wrong one and falls apart right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool.
I like the Indiana Jones franchise. That's a good franchise.
I mean, I'd actually seen this movie, and of course, as a kid, Temple of Doom was on TV all the time.
Yeah.
And I watched it a handful of times. And I'd actually not ever seen Raiders of the Lost Ark until about 2012.
Really?
Yeah. Nick, my cousin, actually has the DVD box set of all of them.
Yes.
And I took them up to my room one night and just watched one right after the other. I was actually pretty surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, good movie. Finally, one of my top 5 favorite movies. This one is brand new, never been taken out of the box. And that is Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder. I've always been, this is like perfect. I was so happy to
I
find
know. I'm glad you found it because I had looked over there once and I overlooked it.
Yeah, an unopened copy of Days of Thunder. Anybody that knows me knows that this is easily one of my top, this is in my top 5. Like, this isn't just top 10, this is top 5 movie. And like, to the point where I'm not even 100% sure if I will open this or not. Because it's just
we can always find another copy to watch.
Yeah, it's just neat having an unopened copy of Days of Thunder.
That's kind of like, I really don't want to open The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyway, that's it. That did take us a little bit. But,
I knew it would to go through all them movies.
But yeah, a huge pile of VHS movies. And we did get some more stuff this weekend, but we're going to cover that in a different video. We actually got that stuff at McKay's. So it wasn't thrift store per se, because some of the stuff was a little pricier.
Yeah, it's a trade store.
So. Yeah, it's a used bookstore basically is what it is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we ended up with a lot of good stuff, a lot of good movies that's going to keep us busy for a while, and it, in all honesty, doubled our VHS collection.
It really did.
So, all right. Well, anyway, that's it. This was probably the best thrift store weekend we've had. ever, hands down.
Yeah.
We're actually getting to the point now where we're probably going to have to make a checklist of movies that we have.
We need to make an inventory, yes.
So we don't screw up and buy more. We're getting to that point.
We were to that point.
But yeah, I mean, look at that. We got Goodfellas, Batman and Robin, and Man on the Moon for $1.
3 for $1, y'all.
What
you
the
can't
heck?
beat it.
All right. Well, anyway, that's it. This is awesome weekend for thrift store shopping. And they remember that was at the VHS were bought at America's Thrift Store in Hickson, right off Hickson Pike.
That's right. It's
And,
by Northgate Mall.
And the
Right,
all the other stuff was bought. Most of the other stuff, the board
Goodwill.
game and the Garfield and all that was bought at the Goodwill.
And that's also on Hickson Pike.
Yes.
So.
But all right. Well, that's it for number 4 of Thrift Store Adventures. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
And we are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you by Infinity Flux out of Hickson, Tennessee. Hope you enjoyed our 4th edition of Thrift Store Adventures. This was actually on the 4th of February, 2008 was when we did this. So everybody have a good rest of the day. Thanks for watching.